Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair. I have a thermal camera here from Topdon. For those of you who watch the channel regularly, you'll possibly know I've reviewed these cameras before, not this model, but this brand. I had a look at the TC001, was one of the first thermal cameras I looked at. That's the one that fits onto an Android phone, okay? And I also looked at the TC004, which is like the big brother of this. This is the TC004 Mini. This is one of the pistol grip, if you like, all-in-one cameras. Let's have a quick look to see how much these cost, and then let's give this a try. Here we are at the Topdon website. So the TC004 Mini. This is an entry-level thermal camera, okay, so it's less expensive than the other ones they have. You can see resolution is 128 by 128, so it's somewhat lower than some of the cameras I've tested, but still a usable resolution, that similar to the FLIR One Pro. In fact, this uses upscaling technology to 240 by 240. We saw a very similar trick on other cameras, and in some cases it seems to actually make a difference. So let's see if we can switch that option off and on and see if it does make a difference. Okay, ideal for HVAC, overheating components, electrical faults or leaks. 2 meter drop proof. Okay, runs for 15 hours on the charge, that's quite good. 25 Hz refresh rate, that's as good as any, to be quite honest. Auto turn off, yeah. And smart alert, so you can, for example, set alarms over temperature, under temperature, this sort of thing. Okay, yeah, when temperature exceeds your preset limit, the device triggers a visual warning and captures a photo. This style of thermal camera clearly intended for on-site use, building sites and heating installations, these sort of things, but we'll also give it a go close up on circuit boards as well to see how well it works in that scenario. And I'll try this outdoors as well to see if it's actually usable in sunlight, okay, because it's obviously intended for outdoor use. Can we see the screen well? Here is our thermal camera then. It doesn't appear to have a screen protector on this one, probably because it's recessed anyway in there. In fact, it's quite nice, so obviously you can't easily scratch the screen. It's a slightly kind of flexible ABS type construction. No doubt this is why it can handle 2 meter falls easily. This has a standard tripod mount, that's also very useful. Just the USB-C there, which is all we need really. The camera comes with a USB-C to USB cable. I'll test to see if this is actually a charging cable or if we can connect this to the computer and maybe read some data or something. Maybe even see, can we use this with OBS? I have seen at least one thermal camera that did this. OBS, it was just a video source. Okay, it has a handy carry strap as well, or wrist strap. That feels very secure actually. That obviously depending on the size of your wrist, yeah, but yeah, that feels pretty good to me. Okay, let's put this through its paces. So hold the power button in for a second. Takes a little while to power up. There you are. So it takes a little while. Having said that, all thermal cameras take a few seconds to power up. So the first test, we always do this one, the handprint on the bench. Okay, so yeah, that's working very well. I'm just trying to get the overhead camera into focus for you guys. Okay, we can see it's set to Fahrenheit at the moment. Let's see if we can change this into centigrade. So press OK, gives us the menu. Let's see, what do we have? Temperature unit. Okay. Celsius. Okay. And then I think it's this back button. Yeah, that's quite intuitive actually. So we now have temperature in centigrade. I'm just looking at the screen myself. It's actually quite clear. It's because I'm holding this closer to the camera, and the camera has a little bit of difficulty focusing at high magnification. Yeah, I think you guys can actually see better now what we have. Okay. Let's use this to have a quick look around the room. I'll try to arrange the camera so we can do this on video. We can see across the room there, we can see Julie. Let's have a look on the thermal camera. Let's see if we can hold it like this so you guys can see. Okay, so we can look across the room here. That little black stripe up there, just so I can get the camera for you guys. Yeah, there, that's the air conditioner. I think let's try recording on the camera itself, and then we'll try and play that back onto the PC, see if that's better. I've taken some photos with the camera. I had a look in the user manual. You can't record video on the camera. You can't take photographs. I've connected the USB and it comes up here as Cobra storage. So it's 500 megabytes, basically with 512 megabytes data, just a small amount, but enough for photographs, so we can see there more clearly. This is what I was trying to show you guys, but I couldn't easily do so holding my webcam towards the thermal camera. Okay, this is the air conditioner in the room, so you can see the room temperature's about 30 degrees. That's with the aircon on, by the way. It's about 36 or 40 getting on towards the day, especially in the sun. Yeah, the aircon's putting out at about 10 degrees C, and this is the wastewater pipe for the condensation, effectively 4.5 degrees, so it shows that very clearly actually. And this one I'm just showing the bottle that's collecting the wastewater from the air conditioning, because we don't actually have any direct plumbing in here to connect to. Okay, so we have to catch it in big 8 litre or 10 litre water bottles. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's working nicely without a doubt. Let's see how well this camera works on close up items, and this will be a bit easier for me to film for you guys. Here is a PC motherboard. This is the one I always use for testing thermal cameras, so if you look at some of my other reviews, you'll be able to see the comparison, the difference between them. This type of thermal camera don't have a macro lens, so they're not really intended for close-up inspection of components. Let's have a look, see what we can see. Yeah, we can see generally things warm, but you can't see individual components. We can see, for example, here this MOSFET, just move a little plastic clip out of the way, is warm. Yeah, we can read the temperature of that one, 35, something like that. Okay, another chip here. So these thermal cameras are designed well for electrical installation, that sort of work. They're not really designed for close-up work like PCB inspection, certainly not at component level, but that's not really the intended uses that they would have for this type of camera. Okay, let's look at the VRMs on the other side. You can see, so yeah, you can see things which are warm, but you can't see tiny individual components on the board. But as I say, that's not really the intended use for this type of thermal camera. Okay, so I'm now outside the office. This is the commercial centre where I'm based. So I'm actually indoors, but it's fairly bright. I'm looking through the doorway here. I'm just holding the thermal camera in front of my phone, and you can see the screen quite clearly. This is indoors, but in quite light condition. Let's go outside now. So it is summer, obviously. It's July. It's very warm, probably getting towards 40 centigrade today. This is about 11:30 in the morning, so Because we're 15 degrees west of Greenwich, our sun reaches the peak here at 2 in the afternoon, so this is not the peak of the daylight, but to be quite honest, it is very difficult to see the screen. I mean, there's a car here. You can probably see as much of my reflection as anything else, actually. Okay. You can see the cars. I'll just show you where I'm looking. So I have a person standing here. Okay. Car goes past there, Sabrina. And yeah, I can't see that screen. Okay, so in outdoor conditions, it doesn't really work very well. Maybe if you were somewhere dull and cloudy it might, but let's face it, here it's always sunny really. Yeah, it just doesn't get, well, it doesn't get like overcast dark skies. Yeah, obviously it gets dark, but only at night. So yeah, I have to say, this is with the screen on full, it's quite difficult to use this in outdoor conditions. Okay. Indoors, of course, I'm back in the workshop now, and it's a different matter altogether. We can clearly see for indoor work. Considering this is designed for outdoor work, I would say that's a little bit of a limitation there, but you know, guys, I think to some extent it depends on where you live. Okay, so I have to sum this one up. Well, it's intended as an entry-level device. The price is under €200, and these type of thermal cameras are generally fairly expensive. Okay. It has a great deal of sensitivity to temperature. You can see that just on the handprint left on the desk. For things like air conditioning, which I tried in the workshop and looking around at the workshop, electrical panels and such like, it's fine. Outdoor in the commercial centre, it was pretty good and there's a lot of light in there. But outdoors, I really couldn't see the screen well at all. And that's okay, it's sunny, but it's always sunny here really, as I mentioned. So it may be good for outdoor use in some climates, but definitely not for the Canary Islands. For close-up work, it isn't intended for that purpose. You can see hot areas on the circuit board. I could see a MOSFET. I couldn't see individual small components, but there again, you can't with this type of camera unless you have some sort of macro lens. It's not meant for that. I would say for somebody further into the northern hemisphere where it's not so sunny as here, working on building sites and such like, or house insulation and those sort of things, which you're probably going to be doing in winter anyway. Yeah, it probably is well suited to that job. It's not well suited for the close-up work I do or the climate I live in, but then it's an entry-level device. It's not going to do everything. I would have liked to see this able to record video rather than just take single snapshots, but again, I keep going back to this, entry level, it's built to a price. Okay, so that is the TC004 Mini. If you feel this suits your usage, give it a look. It's a nice little rugged device, I will give it that. Yeah, doesn't seem to be bothered by a bit of knocking about, as I mentioned, so that is a bonus. If you're more interested in the close-up work and such like, have a look for a thermal cam with a macro lens. Okay, so I hope you think that was an honest review. If I have any discount codes or links, I will put them in the video description for you guys so you can take a look. And of course, let me know what you think about it down there. What do you think of the review? What do you think of the camera? Do you have one of these? Does it work well in your situation? Please let us know what you're using it for and any issues or anything you find very good about this. I'm sure everybody will be interested to hear from you. Okay, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.